Well, welcome to the ninth part of the lecture on the labor force participation and the occupational segregation, uh, which is a lecture part of the lecture series prepared for the course Gender Economics. Also, you could name it as Introduction to the Feminist Economics. And this course is also prepared for the Middlesex Technical University Northern Cyprus campus. And last time we were looking to the Ikkarajan's article and to a survey done. This is the last part of the article. It has multiple different research work, but this one is on a survey, done on the women in Ümraniye neighborhood in Turkey, Istanbul. And basically, we were looking to different perceptions of the women who are actually working or not working, but if they are working, they like to work, but if they are not working, also they want to work. And we have seen actually the usually the women who are working like to work because of personal satisfaction and the access to income and autonomy. So that autonomy is a very important, relatively important thing both for the working woman and the non-working woman. So kind of being able to get out of the out of the having more say on what they do what on their life, basically. 51.5% like it for the person satisfaction. This is for the people who are working. That's interesting. For them, the person satisfaction is important. While 48% of the women who are willing to work but not working right at the moment are willing to work because they want to help the budget. Especially in the non-working women, you can see actually you significantly have some people who want to access income, but still, that this traditional and 19% is still significant group that is that wants to work for the personal satisfaction. So there are barriers for the women who want to work, basically on that front also. But still, a significant percentage, 48%. They just want to work because they are actually they want to help their families. And even for the working woman, you see actually the majority don't say the work paycheck improves the woman's say in the family, their ability to govern basically what is the decisions in the family. And here maybe just being in the workplace might be something that might improve the woman's freedom, basically, because in the family they are also not able to say anything, but in the workplace, at least to some extent, they might have the autonomy. And 32% of the women who are working think it's man's responsibility to take care of the needs of the household, but this is much higher, 52% for the women who are not working. But note that these are the women who want to work, and even there, and here also you should think, think there is maybe for the women who want to work, there is a significant percentage of the women who think it's not man's responsibility to meet the material needs of the households. So now let's move to the women who are actually not working or working, but who don't want to work, basically. Their numbers are significantly less, so most women want to work, actually. That's the important thing. You can see the numbers at ends here, compare the ends up and below. But if they don't want to work, if they are working and don't want to work, most of them want not to work because they prefer to stay at home. They lack desire to work, even though a small percentage of them name that actually the conditions in the employment are difficult. So their lack to desire to work is not something related to the workplace conditions. So that's more like they don't think they don't, they at least name it as something that comes from their internal desire, basically. They internally don't want, they prefer not to work, even though the work conditions are not that bad, basically. Household and childcare is an important factor. Still, other factors are not that much important. In case of the non-working and happy woman, you see the factors are pretty much distributed, like household and childcare, the highest one. Then belief that women should not work, prefers to stay home, still high. Feeling too old or tired, still high. Not knowing about how to cope it without sufficient education and experience, again high. I mean, these ones these women, this 13% might still want to work, but unsure for themselves. And here you see a significant fall in the belief that the women's basically when women work, they have a better more say in the family, and that might be also related to their unwillingness to work. Maybe, I don't know. This is something to talk about. And again, you have a higher percentage of people who think that it's man's responsibility to take the material needs of the household. Still, of course, for the working woman, this is a minority, since they are working and they are working even though they are unwilling to work even. And for the women who are not working and unwilling to work, however, the percentage is high. Although still 26% of the women, they might think that it's not the man's responsibility, only man's responsibility to work, basically. Lastly, we also have two graphs that are showing basically women's say, how women's say is improved when basically they are they are working. And you can see here actually percentage of the women who, for example, can decide themselves to work at a paid job. Well, the ones who are working and the ones who are not working, you can say percentages for both of them. And you can see a working woman, and you can see here whether, I mean, the difference is significant or not. And here actually that difference might be important. So we need to know how much data we have available to test this actually. So even if the percentage looks like if the data is 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, I mean that the significance might be low. And if this number is kind of below 0.05, in that case, I mean we have a pretty significant case. So in the case of the overall sample, we say actually the working women have a significant more say on many different things: to manage their income, to set up their own business, to be a member of political party, to become member of the non-profit organization, decide on her own education, recreational activities, how to dress, her travels. Well, they still don't have that much to say on their children's education. I mean, as percentage-wise, there is a difference, but that difference is not significant. Similarly, her place of the family's residence, meet with her home family, is still not significant. With whom she makes friends, religious practices, all of these are insignificant, basically. So, especially the collective decisions and even some of her personal decisions are not affected by them, basically, by them. The woman's work status basically. So the second graph is more interesting. It is doing the same thing, but only for the primary school graduates. So because people who work might be more educated, and that might be the what is creating the effect. And now many of the previous effects are actually disappearing. To become member of the political party, to which party to vote, manage income, all of these become insignificant now. Still, we have some significant things like to set up our own business, to participate in the labor market, to become a member of the non-profit organizations, decide on her own education, recreational activities, how to dress, you have still significant differences there. So you have some improvements, but those improvements are more limited compared with the women who are educated. So it's an interesting picture of the labor force participation of women, and we see that even though women might prefer to stay home because of certain, let's say, conditions. They want to have their control of their own workplace, which is their house, but still we see there is some improvement. In their basically in their position or bargaining power inside of the family when women are working compared with the case when they are not working. And even the women themselves actually take that autonomy and the personal satisfaction as two important factors that are still important percentage-wise when they prefer to work, especially. And a significant percentage of the women who don't want to work are also they don't want to work because they are not unsure of themselves. Well, this is the Occupational article. As a last thing, let's talk to the Cyprus article. And here, actually, I just want to mention some numbers. It's a very short article, actually, but it's nice to know some numbers on the Cyprus. So labor force participation in the Cyprus is 56%, and it is 40% of the women are participating to the labor force, higher than Turkey certainly. And 70% of the men are participating in the labor force, basically. When you go down, earning differences is actually 77% of the women get the primary minimum wage. For the men, this is basically 27%. And here you can see basic differences: monthly net income of women and men, basically, for different type of intervals. As you see, actually, as you increase the basic as you increase the income level, the percentage of women gets lower and lower. And when you look to the less than 240, basically, you see 30% of women are earning this amount, and basically only more than 50% of men are earning this amount. Basically, there are some women who are not earning any money, so they probably didn't include that to this picture. So that picture might be actually, if there's a more detailed research on this, actually that picture might change, because this is just showing the percentage of, I believe, all women, basically. And when you go down, well, I'm actually sorry about the confusion. This was actually, you see, for every interval, how many percentage of the people who are earning less than this are men and women. And for all percentages, actually, men are more. But actually, as you see, as the income is increasing, the woman's percentage gets smaller, basically. And of course, basically, 67% of the household work is still the male work, and only 67 hours of work hours per week is spent by the woman for the household work, and for the man it is still not that bad, actually, 34% hours, basically. And basically 50% of the women are let's say the primary school graduates, but for the university graduates that ratio becomes 14%, although that includes also the old generation. Basically, there are some additional data, but this is the basic data. So this is data mainly on the Cyprus, and it's interesting to note these numbers also, since we are living in northern Cyprus also. But in future, I really would like to see a more detailed research. Anyway, this was the lecture on the labor force participation and occupational segregation. Actually, I want to have one last part, and that last part will be on the discussion. I will talk very little on the discussion of this week. So let's meet in the last part of this lecture. See you.